April. We are going to put together a quirky little box that looks like a cake, and I have made mine out to Halloween theme. You can make it any theme that you want to make it, but I left the file laid out for Halloween. Now I did do print and cut on mine on these pieces here just to make it easy, and I did some purple print and cut, some green, and some orange. I was able to manipulate it and get those to all on one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in the print and cut area, which is 6.75 by 925. All you have to do is rotate these pieces 90 degrees, one of these 90 degrees, and you can fit everything on. I did ungroup them and bring them tighter together, especially on this one, so that they fit into that constraint. If you put these right here really close together and you bring them in, you can weld those pieces together, and they will then put your print and cut in, and you can get those. Now, if you don't want them welded because you're going to cut them out of other papers later, you don't have to, but it really isn't going to matter. As long as they aren't touching, you should be fine. So go ahead and bring these pieces closer together and align them to the top or the bottom, however you want to do it, and you can get them in on your paper. I will be covering all of these. Now they are in pieces here. You can weld them together, but they may not come together as well, but you can try it. I left it like this in case you guys wanted to enlarge it and make a bigger box. Because if I weld these pieces together for the smaller box, then you're going to be limited in the size that you can make the boxes. So I left everything split into two pieces so that you can align everything center on the page here, ungroup it, align everything center, and then you can group everything together and size it up as big as your paper will go at 11.5 inches. So hope that you are going to enjoy this tutorial, and I will pop over here and show you. I'm going to go to my projects, and I'm going to bring up the one that I did print and cut on so you can see how I laid it out. Here it is here, and I'm going to customize and replace. And it's so exciting that the background removal tool is coming. I do not have it yet. It's not in this version, but it is prepped for it. I'm in beta. I will see if I can get that later this evening and do another quick tutorial for you guys. I'm just giving this a minute to load. It is a large file, but it's a lot of fun and it's quick. I got everything on 2 sheets of black and 1 sheet of print and cut. This is the way that I turned mine for my print and cut, and you can see that I attached it all. And all I did was line these pieces up and align them and get them really close together so that they fit, and you can see that it's in the 6.685 by 9.242. So that is in the print and cut area, and it all fit on one page. Let me hit make it and show you really quick. It's going to go on to 3 pieces of black. You see that? Here is my print and cut. Don't worry about that loading. It's okay. But it had put 2 little pieces over here, or 1 piece, and all I did was move this object and I put it on the first mat, and then I just drug it down where I could see it, and I put these 2 little ones up here because they fit there, and I put this one here. I know it's hard to see on black, but you can see that I got it on there. And then of course my print and cut fit on 1 sheet. I have this sheet of black and this sheet of black, and I still have some room over on this one, so you can put that one on either page that you want. You could probably even tighten it up a little bit more and get some of these pieces on the other. Totally up to you, but everything will fit. You're going to get this whole box at this size out of 2 sheets of black paper and 1 sheet of print and cut. So let's pop on over to the overhead and put this together. Okay guys, here we are. And I am going to start with the base piece. And those are the two pieces that look like this right here. All right. And you have two of those. They are identical. None of, other than the octagon, nothing else is identical. I was going to put the skull on the top of mine, but I couldn't get it to work right. And then when I did, I didn't like the hole in the top of it. But just an idea in case you want to do something different with yours, you can do that. I went with bats instead. So I folded those over, and now I'm folding on all of these scored lines, these little tabs. And they are small for this because I resized the box. But if you make a larger one, of course, they're going to get bigger. And then we're going to fold right down on all of these scores, just like so. So that piece should look like that, and you're going to do it twice. And this piece has no decorative panels on it. This is your box base, one of them. You actually have a tier in the center that is also a box, and the top is completely closed. It is just for looks, and it does not have a lid on it. So and we're just going to keep folding this one. All right, so now we have both of those folded, and they're ready to go. And then we're just going to glue right here on this tab. Move those pieces out of the way. I bent one of my pieces. Well, actually, my Cricut did. It decided it would come off the mat as it was ejecting the mat for some reason. So we're just going to glue that together right there and make it one continuous piece. And that's what I said. You can weld these together if you're doing a small box, and you can cut it. It will come out of one sheet of paper, so you can skip that step. But if you want to make it larger, then it wouldn't fit. So that's why, again, that I left it this way. And then we're just going to fold those over, and I'm going to glue on this tab right here. Got a little messy with my glue. Just fold that over. And there we go. Super, super simple and easy. Now we're going to fold these tabs over just for now, just to give us some room to work. And then you're going to get, there are two of these that are the same size, and that's for this box here. Now you have two that are the same size of all of them, but like with this one, these two are the same size, but one of them has slits cut in it and one doesn't. And then you can see that this one is smaller than that, so they don't go together. And then there are two this size, and one has slits in it, okay? And then you have one of each of these that are the same size, okay? And for my decorative panel, I changed one of them. So these are the only two that are identical and don't have either a color change or a slit cut in them. So that'll help you determine that you have the right one. And I'm just going to push that down through the center of that because I want it on this side just to help me get the shape on my box. I probably should have put it through on this side there. Well, I missed it. Put it through on the short side. That way all of your long tabs will be out of your way. There you go. And then we can push it down from inside. You want all of those glued down, okay? And I'm just going to put just a touch of glue just around each edge, just enough to get it to grip. And then we're going to add our other tab. Now you can use a Teflon sheet, whatever you have here. I'm just going to use I have a crack in this mat, so I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to push that down and get that piece going. Maybe that's not a smart idea. It's going to stick to my mat. Just do it my normal, usual way here and get my mat messy. I'll stick that down. I am just missing it tonight. I cannot get things to work for me here. Come here, there we go. So I'll do it the old-fashioned way and try to get this in here. I like it that it tries to help form it. Maybe I can do it this way. Just going to get enough glue in there for the entire thing. I got lucky. I did not damage my glue. And then I'm going to bring this one. I'm just going to put glue on all the edges here. All the way around. And we'll just do both of them together. And bring that in. So I'm basically just using the one on the inside to help me keep my shape so that I can stick this one on the outside and get everything covered. I don't want anything to get out of whack. I guess we could have glued these pieces down and then done it, but I wanted them to be on top, really. And I'm just going in with my finger and rubbing down the tabs on the inside. The bone folders work too. If I had mine. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm just bringing all of those together. Just sandwiching those tabs in between and keeping the shape of the box. Like that. And I just do not, I'm sorry, I just do not like barely glue. I usually use my art glitter glue, and it is already grabbing by now. I'm just not a fan of this. Barely, but it is what I have because I cannot find my art glitter. It's all packed up, ready for moving. Misplaced my bone folders. Just gonna get in there and rub that down till it sticks. And if you are a art glitter glue lover like I am, it slid a little bit on me, but make sure you get that before the winter months get here because it will not ship like Barely does in the when it freezes. It can't be shipped. So now we're just going to glue all of these tabs into place. And this is just to give the base of the box a little strength and a nice edge on this. When it's open. And you can fill this with candies or goodies. I don't know if a cupcake will fit in here. Maybe a mini. If you do the little single Hostess or little Debbie cakes, maybe. That would be cute in here too. Or either non-food. You can put some party favors in it. Cute little box. And I'm just going to go in and give that a rub on each one of those panels. Spread that glue around. And hopefully locate my bone folder here shortly. I just don't know where it went. So that is the base of the box. We're going to set it to the side. And now we're going to get the two wider pieces after that. So we're just going to kind of work our way up here. And we are going to do the same thing. We're going to fold on all of our tabs. so. And then we're going to fold these tabs over. Like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. Just like so, okay? And now we are going to glue those together. That actually goes this way, I think. I have to look when I remember. Yeah, this goes this way. So I've got that tab, and now we're going to place this one, just like so. Get that time to grab. And then we're going to glue this tab. We're going to make another circle out of it. And they are kind of sort of symmetrical, but not really, because it goes up and down. And then we have another large one with holes in it, one without, okay? Or slits in it. You want the one without the slits at this point, okay? And this is actually going to go over your box. This is your box lid. So I'm just going to place it right over the top, just like that, just to help me with this. Well, I can't. I got to put that in first, just to help me with my lid piece here, okay? And I'm just going to go all the way. I want that to the inside. I want my textured side in. So I'm just going to go on all of my edges only, okay? We're not going inside, outside yet. And I'm just going to kind of place that in. Try to. Doesn't want to cooperate. I keep hanging up on one of them somewhere. There we go. Maybe I can get them all folded out. I'm just going to drop that in and start on one side. It's just not going to cooperate with me tonight. Any other time, be perfectly just sitting right in there. Okay. Start with one tab and work our way up. It's really tricky because it's on an angle. Again, art glitter glue would have had me covered by now. Now I'm just gonna walk this around. Hopefully it will grab. Trying to keep it in line. Maybe I can get it now. Just want to keep its shape. Here we go. All right. I just wanted it to hold for a second. That's it. There we go. I'm just walking this around and getting those to glue. Maybe a little bit more. I want those edges. It's not really got to be covered exactly well because we've got a piece going on top of that and it's going to cover it. This other piece with the slits in it is going to go there, but not yet. I just want it to be formed. just doesn't want to stick. I don't want to really get glue all over the black areas. We could have put our panels on this before we did this piece, but I want to wait until the end on that. Make sure it's what I want to use. All right, so now we have the box base, and then we have its lid. Okay, and we're just going to set that to the side to dry for a second. And now we're going to start with this piece. Now this one is close to the other piece here. You can see that this one's a little bit bigger, but that is our lid for this piece, okay? Actually, no. I was right. We do need these two pieces. These are the two pieces we need next, okay? They are the next larger ones. No, something's not right here. I'm sorry, guys. I just did this file, so I'm trying to remember how I designed it. Okay, it is this one, the one with the tabs on the top and the bottom, okay? Top and bottom tabs. I'll figure it out here in a second. And we're just going to fold all of those tabs, and then you can straighten those back up. Let me grab I threw a baby wipe in here and it got it damp, but you can see where we're going with this. So it would be the one without the tabs on the top and the bottom. So, but you can go ahead and fold these and we'll set those to the side. We will be using them. It's not going to hurt to fold them ahead of time. Just fold it on all the scores. Just like so. And all right. And just set those to the side. This is the one we want. Okay, and we're going to fold it on all of its scores. This is the one my maker tore it off the mat when it was ejecting the mat, not while it was cutting. It was just so weird. So we're going to fold those over, and then we're going to fold on each one of these scores. This is the lid piece for the top. Okay, and that's going to form our lid that goes over this piece that we're going to do. So then you have these two pieces. This is your smaller set. The tabs just at the bottom. Okay. And yeah, there's no score there. Score on this end. And this end. Let's see. I'm just going to fold those tabs over, and then you can fold these tabs back out, okay? We just needed to, did I fold those? No, I did not. Okay, so now you have the two pieces like this, and we're going to glue those together. And if you're making it at the same size, without the tabs, this is about the 1 1/4 inch deep. We're going to glue those, and then we're going to glue the small end. And I'm going to give those a second to dry before we start playing with it. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together as well. And we're going to put glue on this long tab here. We're going to bring those two pieces together. All of these pieces that basically go together the same. It's just your tops are a little bit different. Make sure they're even at this bottom piece with no tabs. Those are the edges you want even. Okay. So we're going to set that to dry. And then I'm going to bring this piece in. And we're going to glue those. A long tab. You want to make sure that your skinny tabs are all at the top on this one and your regular tabs are at the bottom. And then we're going to glue this tab. All right, we're going to let that dry. We're going to come back to this one that has the tabs, no tabs at the top, okay? But it's shorter than this one. This is your lid piece. This is the inside of the box piece, okay? They're basically the same. This one just has skinny tabs on it where this one has the wider. And then you're going to get your larger octagon that has the slits in it here, okay? And what we're going to do here is I want my textured side up. We're going to feed these through, okay? I'm just going to start with one tab right now, and I'm going to glue it and secure it so I can work with the others. And it doesn't matter, just pick a tab and put it inside that slit and then glue it to the other side, okay? And then we're going to feed the other tabs through and glue them. I just want to secure one so that it holds it, and then we're just going to feed all the others through before we secure them. And it can be a little bit snug. That's okay. Get in there. Just gonna pull them through. That one's trying to get itself in there all by itself. I didn't even put it in there yet. There we go. And one last one. Nope, two more. All right, now we have all of our tabs to the inside here. Got a nice tight fit. That one doesn't. Hold on. There we go. Just so that they're nice and tight and snug in there. And then we're just going to go through and we're going to glue each one of these tabs down. Again, don't glue but one to get yourself started so that you're not constantly pulling it back out. And then we're just going to hold those tabs. Maybe that glue will get tacky over there. Fold them all in. Just going to give it a press down from this side, just to make sure that they're all in there. And let that sit for a second. Okay, so once you've got that glued down and secured, next we're going to work on this piece. This is, I know it looks weird, but this is the lid for this piece, okay? And we are going to be placing the solid piece, not the one with the cuts in it, to the inside of this piece. All right, so I'm going to try it this way this time. Get all of those tabs turned in well. And then I'm going to put the glue on each one of those. All right. And then I'm going to place that in there to help me form that into its little octagon shape. That seems to be working a little bit better. Somewhat. Oops, I made this one too large. I will definitely cut that down for you guys. I think that one's a little too large. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out how much I need to take off of it. Maybe about 1/10 of an inch. I will fix this for you guys. The other one should be fine. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe I twisted it and put it in there. Try to keep yours straight. I think that's what I did. Dry fit it before you, I'm not going to touch it because it should not be off. It should be the right size. So I'm not going to change it in the file. I'm going to assume that I twisted it. Dry fit it before you glue yours. And if it's not fitting, just snip a little off of the edge that's not fitting. I think I got it worked out. I think I just twisted it slightly. So I only have one corner that's doing that. So I think that's what it is. So now I have the lid for this box. So we're going to place that lid on there. We have our base piece and now we have our top piece. Now we can put this top piece on. But you want to be careful. This is incorrect. You want long side, short side. Okay? So you want to line that up to where you have a short side and a long side. Long side, short side. So if it's going in the same direction, if your slants are going in the same direction, it is the wrong way. And I did that with my mock-up on the top piece by accident. And that's why I'm stressing that. So we've got our centerpiece here. I can take the lid off. And we're just going to glue this up really good. And my glue is clogged, of course. There we go. And because I sat this down, I want to be sure that I get it on there the right way. So I've got the short side going to the long side over here. Very important. And there we go. That's better. I'm just going to stick that down. Keep it from scooting. I'm going to take the base out now and give it a press from the inside. And you're just going to have to do this from the inside, walking it around till it sticks. Because you can't smash it down. You'll damage your box. This is your small box, and then the base is, of course, your large box. Get that center pressed as well as the edges. Now we can put that back on. And then our lid will go back on. So I've got my short sides to the long side, okay? Looking just like this. That's the way you want it to be. All right, so we can set that to the side, and now we're gonna work with this piece. And we're going to start this piece with the long skinny tab.
No!
Get one finger in there, maybe I can do it. I want to put this piece in. You want to do that top first. I'm just going to pull it off. If I can't get it to thread, then I'll go another route. So you've got your circle. Ignore what I did before. Yes! And we're going to go around the edge of this. And it doesn't matter which side on this, because the texture side is not going to show regardless of how you go with it. This piece goes to the inside. I'm just going to push that down. Forming our little octagon. Like so. Then this piece is going to go on the top. This is my print and cut pattern piece. And it's going to go on here. So I'm just going to press that down. Get it to sticking good. And I did go around the edges of all of my pattern pieces, and I'll show you that here in a minute when we start working on those. Want to get that good and stuck down before you move on to doing the piece that I tried to do first. And now we're going to put this piece on there. And hopefully I can get them. Hopefully they're not too weak for me to get in there. There's one. 2. And they get weak. It's hard. And what I mean by that is the glue made them damp. You can always, if you made the boo-boo I made, let it dry. Give it a few minutes to dry and then let it stiffen back up. Let that cardstock stiffen back up and then you can redo it. I may get it to work without a recut. Don't speak too soon. Tweezers, help, please. Got it. 2 more, almost home free. Just flipping those tabs out so I can get to them easier. Yeah, this one's going to be a booger. I might be able to get by without it, though. Let's see. Got it. Yay, I was able. You should not have that much trouble. Again, mine's still damp from the glue. So this is the top piece that should be looking just like this now. Pull all of those tabs, pull it through and get it tight. Okay. And I'm not pulling hard on these guys. You don't want to rip it. And now we're going to glue them down. All right, and I'm just going to press those in. Some glue on them. We're going to take the top off of our box here, okay? Actually, we're going to leave it on there for a second. That way we can make sure we line up properly. Because I don't want to glue it on upside down like I did my last one. Or not upside down, but backwards. And I just need those to grab. They don't have to be set. And now we're going to put glue over the entire thing. On our edges. All right, and again, this is the short side on this second box. Short side here, long side here, and I want the short side to be on this side this time. So that it's going in the right direction. There we go. And you can look at it and tell. Just glue that into place. I'm just going to take the top off now that I know the position so that I can press. And we have that reinforcement under there. That was the piece that I missed, remember, that I put in there. And that's so that we can press a little firmly on that to get it to stay. I'm a little bit off on mine. Here. If you have any overhang, you can just snip that off. I mean, it's very minute if you have any at all. And that's going to vary from crafter to crafter. I mean, you can see just little slivers that I cut off there. And that's just going to depend on how you worked and put your box together. This would be cute. I showed my little mock-up too. I think it was Sue said it reminded her of Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland. You could do that too. Do a theme on that. So now short side goes on. And how cute. We're getting there. And so now we need to do all of our panels. So I'm going to take the lid of my bottom box. And I just kept these in order when I took them off my mat and stacked them so I could work left to right. I think. There we go. So where's my, yep, that's where my seam is. So you want to find your seam and then you can work all the way around. And I'm just going to put these panels right on. I went around the edges because this is print and cut. I did it on white paper and got my print and cut going. So I have some Spectrum Noir sparkle pens, and I just went around the edges of my cardstock just to give them some color. And again, I kept them in order when I was marking them in the way that I had them on my mat so I could start in one place because they do vary. They are not symmetrical. And I could work around onto the box with those panels in the right order. That way there was no guessing and making sure I had the right ones. I would know. Don't do that. I dropped it. Dropped it. See, I don't get this barely glue. I just don't get it. 1 minute it won't hold anything, and then the next piece you do, it won't slide at all. It is what it is. It's staying there. And then we have this one that's just a rectangle. This is going to be such a fun box. And if you are, this is a annual supporter file. If you are a supporter, doesn't matter annual or anything, I did a poll to ask you guys what you wanted, and so far treat boxes and cards are coming in first place, so that's why I went ahead and did this. I do have a vinyl project I have to do, but I don't know if all of you guys have milk cans. I have one of the big milk cans from Hobby Lobby. I got it while it was on sale. I think it was like 25 bucks, something like that. I don't even remember. But it doesn't matter what sizes you have. You can, I'm thinking about doing an SVG for that and then sharing that SVG with you guys who are supporters who wanted a vinyl project. If you have anything in mind, because just saying vinyl doesn't really help me, and I want to make sure you guys are getting the content that you want, shoot me pictures in an email or send me a photo, a snip or something of what you're looking for, what you want to see, and I will take it from there and do that for you. It's just like this. This is a treat box, but it may not be what you had in mind. So make sure that you're giving me good information about what you want. And if what you see on that poll on Patreon is not listed, email me with whatever it is that you're looking for and what you want me to create and help you with. So I've got all my panels on that one. So I'm going to come over here to this one. And now we're going to do the same exact thing. This is my green level. Oops, that one got out of order, so I'm going to have to be careful here. That looks right. Hopefully, cross our fingers, and I've got everything in the right order here. Just gonna start gluing those on. And I'm gonna start, no, I'm not, because I don't know which one of those. I knocked that one out. I think that's the bottom one. I hope it is. So fun. This would be cute as a wedding cake too. Or like Alice in Wonderland. Different themes. You can do anything. Birthdays. This would make a great guy box for a birthday. Do it up in like a dragon or cars or wood or tons of things you guys can do. Try not to be as messy with your glue as I am. We'll grab a wipe here. And then I have my Nuvo drops out here too. Fun thing about this one is also, if your panels are not on there exactly straight, doesn't matter. It's meant to be quirky. So, especially for Halloween, you can go in there and do lots of different things. That goes that way. It's not real hard to tell where these panels go, but some of them are close in size. And some of them, you'll know that's not the right one. And you can see here, I got green ink on the back of that. I went around it with my green Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, just around the edges to cover that white edge of the paper. And I did that because I was going against this black paper. And it will stick out really, really, really bad if you don't do that. So make sure that if you don't have the colors, go around it with the black, which is the base of your cardstock. Now, if you're going on a white, if you're doing this and your base is white, then no worries. You don't have to do anything. It won't show up. But I just don't like those bright white edges showing up on my project. Now we're going to place that one on, and I think I'll leave it on to do these. Let's see, I think that one goes there. Yep, that's the rectangle one. And I'm just gonna make sure, maybe it is easier if I just do the one. Yeah, because I can grab it. That's right. And you can use your tape runners if you prefer on this part. Totally up to you. And you guessed it, I used the purple one on this one. And I will give you guys the colors in just a second in case anybody wants to know exactly what I used. This paper, the purple and the orange, I believe, were uploads from, I don't know, I just looked for Halloween watercolors. It's either free on Google somewhere, or either I got them from Design Bundles or Creative Fabrica. Those are my go-to sites. There's links down below. But that's what I generally look for. Or you can look for purple, green, and orange watercolors, backgrounds. Find those. That will also, I got a boo-boo on that one, and where my marker slid, so I'm hoping I can hide that with a bat. We're going to try anyway. The importance of doing it from the, if you're doing that, make sure you have your white side facing you in case your marker slips. It marks on the back, not on the front. I didn't follow my own rule and I did it. And the last one. And then we're going to have some fun with the bats. Okay. So now we have all of our decorative pieces on, and now we can do our bats. I did 2 print cuts for this bat, and we're going to glue that on there. And the reason I did it this way is so that when I fold this up, we have color on both sides. So I'm just going to put glue, and I went around this one with the purple marker. You can use purple or black on this one, whatever colors you're using. Just going to line that up. And then we're going to do this one. Flip that over, and we're going to put this one on this side. There we go. And then I'm just going to, while it's damp, I am going to give it some curl. Okay? That way they don't pull apart since you have one on each side. And I think I'm going to use a foam dot on that. Let's see. Wrong box. Let's get this one out. I just thought I had some. I'll just use a piece of foam tape. I thought I had some black foam dots out, but I don't see it. I'm just gonna snip a piece off here. This is just foam tape. I just want a little piece to pop that up. And before I peel my release liner, I'm gonna take my purple marker and I'm going to go around the edges, because if that's popped up on there, you're going to see it, okay? And I don't want to see it. So I'm going to go around the edge of that foam and color it purple. You can use black, purple, whatever you have. Just want to disguise that so it's not so stark. Okay. I'm just gonna pop him up there. And there you can see he's popped up a little bit, but you don't see the foam, okay? Have fun. You can even curl them different ways, get it going on there good. And then I just cut a bunch of different size bats. I left them in there. Guys, this is totally up to you. If you want to put these on there, I'm just going to glue a few on, I think, in random spots. I got Nuvo drops out just in case I wanted to use them. And I'm just doing various sizes wherever I think they need to go. And especially over my boo-boo there. Going in different ways. How stinking cute is this? I love it, love it, love it, love it. Another pretty big one here. Let's see. I'm just kind of folding them. I think I'm gonna place him here. I might add some eyes on my bat with some yellow Nuvo drops. This is actually dandelion yellow. In case you guys want that, I'm gonna give you the colors of those pins too. But I did grab those Nuvos. I wasn't sure if I was going to use them. I'm still not sure. But I may put some eyes on some of these bats. Adorable. Love, 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 love. Okay. Super cute, super easy and fun. Little bit of work with your inside and outside, but you can do it. This one, the Spectrum Noir, was Amethyst for the purple. This one was Olive Jade, and this one was Harvest Moon. And I don't know if I'm gonna do, I am, you know I am. I'm gonna do maybe a couple of little eyes on my bats. Now they do make a glow in the dark Nuvo drop. If you wanna do those, you could do those too. And I'm just gonna go place eyeballs. I'm not even squeezing this, I'm just kind of touching it. Just to let's give it a little. Little bling on it. Messed that one up. There we go. got it. Just checking to make sure they all have eyeballs. And I'm just going to set that off to the side to dry. And I'm going to do this one. All right, they are so small, they will probably dry in about 10 minutes. What I plan to do, and I'm not gonna make you guys watch this because I'm gonna have to turn it on its side, and I don't want to, maybe I can do one here. I'm gonna have to turn it on its side, and I don't wanna mess up their eyeballs. On some of these panels, I'm probably just gonna go through and mix up the colors. Maybe do purple on orange, green on purple, and orange on the green. And I'm just gonna do maybe some drops. Don't do that to me. Just kind of random throughout. I'm not gonna line them up. I don't want them to be, but I'm gonna go through and do that and mix up the colors. I think I'm gonna do purple on this orange level, green on the purple, and orange on the green, and add a few Nuvo drops of interest throughout. You might even want to do some on the rims of yours, but you have to do that, let them dry and turn it, or you'll mess up your drops. So I will take pictures at the end, and I will put those up for you guys so that you can see exactly what I ended up with when I finished. But you know how to put it together. You can do that, and I will catch you on the next video. I may even add in a few of these black enamel drops. I have some black and white. I may drop a few of those in between as well. So if you see those on there, that's what I used for these, just because they're quick and easy. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Please give a thumbs up, a like, a share, and make sure that you please invite your friends to join us on Patreon. Join the Zoomers tier. Guys, we have so much fun. See you later. Happy crafting.